The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of restrictive content warning or any sort of warning as to what may be in the game. From what I have played so far, it doesn't seem to have anything worrisome in terms of age-restrictive content. So if I were to guess, if it were to have an ESRB rating, I would say most likely it would be rated E for everyone. So following that guess, and having never completed the game, I can't say exactly the whole of it just from my experience, but I would say that anyone under the age of 6 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Autonauts. No, it's the one with the robots. Yes, that one. So as my co-host just remembered, the premise of this game is that you are a colonist developer, or at the very least you're preparing the way for a colony on a alien-ish world. I believe the description said alien, but it seems rather similar to a variety of things, but that's a moot point because that's just the backdrop for what you're doing, and you're basically setting up a civilization. And while you can do everything that's necessary to build and maintain this civilization, it's a lot of work. And to aid you and or do all the manual labor themselves, you have an entire army of programmable robots which you can construct, instruct, and then they just do your bidding until, well, they run out of power, which I will admit is quite frequently. But that's just one of the challenges you have to deal with. Yes, I've done that, and still they run out of power. Well, that's a thought, but you gotta figure, what happens when the second one runs out of juice? Would it, though? Or would it run out of power just like the first one, and then everybody else runs out of power? Anyway, moot point. This game is, of course, made by... Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. And so here we are at the colony. I will admit, I had plans doing some stuff in between episodes, mostly just setting up this area with programmable robots to build the parts for other programmable robots. But I never got around to it, so never did it. And you guys are out of power again. In addition to that, I also have this field, which, if you remember from last episode, used to be a secondary forest. So it used to be because we chopped it all down and plowed it back over. Oh, sort of. I mean, this area has been plowed, arguably. It says tilled, but that's basically plowed, just not well, just with a smaller device. But you could argue it's still plowing. And the plan is to just, well, plow the rest of the field. Make way for wheat stuff right here, and technically the cereal seeds right here, because that is the next goal plan that I'm working on, because cooking... I mean, I have a food cook pot right here. Actually, no, that's a food mixing pot. I'm sorry. And, well, because cooking requires something I don't believe I have access to. I don't think I have access to it. It's a log hut, research station. Yeah, I just have the mixing pot. I don't have access to the cooking pot. So, yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so I can't finish this one right now. However, and the only other one I have access to, at least that I've pinned right now, is science, which requires that I complete 5 more research projects, of which I'm currently working on one. And it requires 1,000 colonist love, and I would say they're producing it slowly, but let's be honest, it's just stockpiling because I can't haul it away fast enough. Probably because the one hauling it away is powered down. Or not, I don't even know what you want. So yeah, there's all that. So first thing we should probably do is figure out where the first robot is that was supposed to be building things. Here we are, Mark 8. We're just gonna have you continue. I really want to get this area set up first before I worry about this area, because tilling requires a tool I just don't have access. Well, I do have access to it, I just don't have it being mass-produced, and that's the hoe. This thing right here. We need the crude hoe to toil. I can't. When I try to correct it, I can't speak correctly. Till the soil, and then we have to plant seeds, and then we have to harvest the seeds, and then we have to find a place to store all the crops. And since this seems to be a long drawn complex issue, I don't think the basic I can't talk anymore. I don't think the basic bots are going to be able to handle it fully. So let's get the robot building facility up and running, and then hopefully it'll be easier just to build standard bots from here on out. And I did not grab the piece I wanted to grab. Grab the piece I wanted you to grab. I think they ran through the pumpkins. Doesn't help that the pumpkin chunks are, well, maxed out, I think that is. And because working in the robot construction facility is too much of a task for even the slightly larger but still teeny tiny whittle brains of the standard bots, I'm going to increase their ability to think. I want to remember how to do that. I know it had something to do with... Here we are. There we are. Upgrade slot. And now it's up and running, so there's that. So, I'm going to record. I'm going to have you build the bodies, so I'm going to need 2 planks and a pole. That's 1, that's 2. Drop them off here. And we grab a pole. Drop this off here. We do the thing. Stuff magically pops out. And then we shove it in this thing. Okay, so that was an energy upgrade, not the... Alright, so we're going to have you do that forever. Actually, no, we're going to have you do that until question mark is filled. And... question mark is filled. Then we'll have you do that forever. And I'm going to have you stop because you're... That's weird. Just double checking to make certain all the code's correct. So that looks fine. I'm going to have him stop because his mind isn't large enough to process everything. So that means I'm going to have to upgrade the crude bot. I'm going to need a bot brain upgrade. And I'm not having them build it here because so far the only bots that actually need a mental upgrade are the guys working in the maternity ward, as I'm going to call it. Let's install this as a second upgrade. So yeah, so now he has 1 kilobyte extra, so he can perform 1 extra action. That's all we need him to do, so that's all I'm going to have him do. I'm going to rewind you. And you. And you. And then we need 2 more bots just like this, because while only the maternity ward, maternity bots are going to be getting mental upgrades, as many robots as I can will be getting a power upgrade, because I'm getting tired of running around every 3 minutes recharging everybody. Especially when the rechargers are the ones who die. Because of lack of power. Alright, so I don't have anybody building bot heads yet, so I need a plank and a tree seed. And real quick, I know 9 has, okay, so 8 does not have a power upgrade, so I think the only one that does is 9. So on that note, what we have 10 do is grab a plank, which I'm actually running out of, I should point out. Seem to be having supply issues. Nope, I don't need poles. Get rid of pole storage. What I need is a tree seed. Although given building requirements of the head, I don't think I actually need the mental upgrade, but I'm going to keep it there anyway. We take the head, we stick it here. Going to be doing this for not until forever, until question mark is filled, and that question mark will be head storage, because I want him to work until we run out of headspace. It's a joke. Whatever. And have that do forever, so go. Alright, now we're going to take the head that we just built out, because I still need somebody to build, well, power upgrades.
It'll be on the even until they manage to max out storage capacity. I gotta admit, I highly doubt I'm going to be building these robots constantly that I don't eventually max out storage. Like I max out storage for everything else. I'll rewind you because I think one of you two is going to be the rewinder. I don't know which. I'm guessing it's the other one. Anyway, yeah. What was I doing?
No, we constantly tell you guys we don't have the budget for snacks. I know they think we do. Fair point.
Alright, now that the logic circuit is built, we wind this box. Not logic circuit, memory upgrade. Although, arguably, you could say it's the same thing. Alright, so then 1-11, I need you to do the following. I need you to grab 4 gears. Okay, you can only grab 2 at a time. Fair enough. Alright, so now I'm over, but I have a whole bunch of stuff I don't really need. So, like, for instance, they can only carry 2 gears at once, so don't need that one. Then they add, and then move to basic workbench. That, move to food storage, take, food storage. Don't need them to add. There's 3 again. Alright, so there's all this. Yeah, move, take gear, drop it off. Take gear, drop it off. Grab a pole. Drop that off. And believe it or not, there's actually more. Alright, so with the entirety of the loop intact, it's 7 kilobytes over even with the memory upgrade. So get rid of this, and this, and this, and this. That's still 3 kilobytes, I should say, over. Let's move to gear storage, take 2 gears. Move to basic bench, drop 2 gears. Move to crude gear storage, take 2 gears. Move to basic bot workbench, add 2 gears. Grab a pole, take a pole. Well, move to pole storage, take a from pole storage. Move to the bench, drop off the bench. I would assume use it somewhere. Then find the thing. Move to the upgrade. Pick up the upgrade. Move to storage and then add the storage. Do that until storage is filled and do forever. And I need to shave off 3 kilobytes, which is not going to happen. So while everybody else gets an energy upgrade, number 11 will not. Because I need the extra space for another memory upgrade. Plumpkin pickers are out of power. Okay. So that is assuming I can even add it, but apparently you can't have 2 of the same upgrade, at least not for this version. Alright, so We're not going to have him pick up the stuff off the workbench and drop it in storage. Drop that off right there. Do we have any other idle robots? Any other idle basic bots, I should say. Not yet. Okay. Any robots, basic robots still in Smith and Sons? So you're the recharger. Workbench 5. Which one's for the workbench 5? 8, 7, 6, 2, 3, 9, 5. Okay. So you're building the crude gears. Alright. So I'm going to take a basic bot. Not a basic bot, a standard bot as I call it. I was going to say that chicken looks dead, but no, he's actually asleep. I'm going to have you record, and you're going to take over gear production. So what I need you to do is I need you to grab a plank. Back over here. Build some gears. I'm going to take the gear and drop it off here. I'm going to do that until question mark is filled. Question mark being crude gear storage. I'm going to do that forever. Now go. And it's daytime. Alright, so Mark 1-12 is now a member of Smith & Sons, which means Mark 37, well, Mark 0-37 is no longer a Smith & Son. So I'm going to have you move out of here. I'm going to be stop doing what you're doing. I'm going to have 1-10. 1-10 is out of power. Not 1-10, 1-11. He's gonna do his thing. Why am I holding a stick? Alright, so now that that's done, Mark 37 gets their new job. So we are going to just strip out everything. Probably did not need to remove the loops, but going to go here. I'm going to grab this. Going to shove it in this thing. Going to do this until this is filled. I'm going to do that forever. Now continue. Just for fun. Oh, that's interesting. The basic bots don't have an upgrade option. And then they can only take 3 things at once. That's why they're having issues with 4 different things. Okay. Alright, well on that note, let's throw a range for Mark 1-9. He's already got a built-in an extra battery. 10 on the other hand does not. So alright, I probably can't upgrade them while they're doing things, so you stop for a second. And you're out of throw range. But it equipped anyway, so now we continue. I wonder if that means 37 can actually be upgraded. Hang on. Stop what you're doing for a quick second. It can. So it's not a case that they can't be upgraded. It's a case that they can't be upgraded while functioning, for lack of a better term. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, so this new group we call the Maternity Wardens. If I can remember how to spell it. That looks close enough. So brown's the next color, so that's what it'll be. And Mark 37 goes in, as does Mark 8, or 1-8 I should say, 1-9, 1-10, and 1-11. Now I know Smith & Sons, the basic bots were paired, so since 37 was making the gears, it's like 38 was taking them to storage. At least he was. He's apparently not doing anything, so we'll just have to haul all these back eventually. That looks good enough. Anyway, so we're going to have him record. Just strip out all of this because his function is changing dramatically. The only problem is, in order to actually program his function, I need somebody who is out of power. Because Mark 0-38 is becoming the Maternity Warden's new recharge bot. So find robot discharged in maximum size space, but covering this area. We'll cover the mushman slightly. Sort of borders the area. Alright, so do that forever. And it should be fine. But before we... No, stop. Where are you? I'll pick you up. Put you over here. I mean, there is apparently a recharging bot within range of this area, but I don't know about the other areas. Going to take a recharging block, install it in your unmentionable area. Well, I would say a mentionable area, but it's the upgrade bay, and it's fairly certain it's mentionable. Drop everything. Now go. And that's probably why he wasn't taking gears to storage. He had one in his hands, and apparently can only carry one thing. So I was trying to have him pick up something that he couldn't pick up. So 38 is now another proud member of the Maternity Wardens. And we should have this area set up. Just recharge the mushman real quick. Just as many as I can. Okay, so that is the recharging bot. Why 38 didn't recharge the mushman's recharging bot, I have no idea. I thought it was in the area, but I guess the teams don't talk to each other. And again, there's simple robots. I highly doubt they talk to each other regardless. And it's raining. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about getting wet. Why we don't have to worry about getting wet? I haven't the foggiest idea, but we don't. Should have a recharging bot for this area, but I don't. Anyway, moving on. So I need new area. I need a lot of things. Need a new workbench. That there. Grab some turf. fill in some of this area because I'm picky like that, and I just got the turf just lying around. We need 2 logs and 2 sticks to build this. Alright, now that this workbench is done, we are going to build... That's a scythe, that's an axe. Here we are, crude hoe. So I need a... That's a rock. Crude blade. You know what, I don't need the tool before I teach the robot to do this, so... What I do, however, need is storage. I'm just gonna grab some more turf real quick. Gonna fill in this area. Make it all nice and slightly pitty. That is the wrong button. And, storages. Gonna need some crates. Yeah, they all same distance. So there we are, and then we need to build the crates, but, believe it or not, we're actually out of planks. Found a flaw in the supply chain. So, we have a flaw in the supply chain. I'm not producing planks fast enough to feed demand. That's why plank storage is empty, and I need planks to build storage for the hose. Otherwise, I have no place to put the hose. I mean, I could dump them on the ground, but that doesn't really help. And with everybody using planks to build things like gears, which I'm apparently also out of. I mean, I do have this small stockpile right here. You know, now that's gone. So... Alright, so there's 2 ways I can go about dealing with plank storage. A quantity way or a quality way. And since there's no real way to build higher quality planks, planks that are better planks, stronger planks, faster planks, all that fun stuff, and even if I could build better planks, stronger planks, faster planks, and all that fun stuff, it really would not help with the plank demand. So since quality isn't a solution, nor is it technically a problem, since I need more planks, not better ones, it's a quantity issue. We solve a quantity issue by building more stuff. So for this, I need a chopping block. Put that there. The chopping block, I need a log and a crude axe. Thankfully, I got plenty of logs, and also thankfully, I should have plenty of axes. Yeah, I actually do have plenty of axes right here. Right, now that that's built, guess what I need?
No, I don't need sandwiches.
I need a new bot. Not the next bot I thought I'd be building, but, need a new bot anyway. Technically, I should have the maternity ward close to final assemblies, that way I don't have to spend time walking back and forth. But, completely rebuilding the settlement is going to take time, effort, and, well, basically time and effort, and I don't feel like doing either of those, so... rather than just moving literally everything around, plus... In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not really all that big on expansion. I mean, all the episodes that I've done of this game and everything that I've built has been in a relatively small area. God help me when I actually have to expand. Right, why are you putting that there? Rewind that. Give him a battery upgrade. I'm already looking at a screen. Why would I do that? So, 1-13. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go here. You're going to grab a log. Very big log. A grand log. Going to drop it here. And I did not select what I'm going to have you build. So, just going to strip all of this out. You're going to strip all of this out. Going to put the log here. Not going to wait. Then you're going to go take these 2 planks. Okay, I see what happened. Let's see how much space I have left. Instead of doing forever, do until question mark filled. Question mark is this thing. And then do that forever, and that's just enough memory space to complete that. Now go! And, Mark 13 is the newest member of the Woodcutters Guild. Newest member of the Woodcutters Guild. And since he's right near the logs, he shouldn't really have much need for anything. Well, to travel very far, I should say. So... hopefully, that'll be enough. If not, I gotta build a 3rd one. Rewind you. And, I said back to doing what I was doing, but if I'm being wholly honest, I still need extra planks, which I don't have a surplus of right now. So something tells me I'm going to need to have to hand chop these if I want extra planks. And since I don't have a chopping block of my very own, I'm going to have to build yet another one. Also, really should rewind the pumpkin flickers. Plumpkin pickers, not plumpkin flickers. Anyway. I'm assuming you're the recharging bot. Nope, no you're not. You're the recharging bot. Basically looking for one that doesn't look like he's in the middle of an action, but standing right next to somebody else. That's usually right when they run out of power. So they should be good there. Alright, and then I'm going to need planks. Lots and lots of planks. I should point out, there are plenty of logs just lying around between me and primary log storage. I could technically just pick them up off the ground as opposed to walking all that way. So that's one crate. Alright, so that should be all the planks I need for the 3 boxes. If not, I can always, process more logs. Now, thankfully, I don't have that much of a pole shortage. I actually am off by 1 log. So I get for trying to do math in my head. Alright, so grab 1 extra log. Because, yeah, while it may be meeting demand as needed, I'm not getting a surplus of planks just yet. So that means I'm probably going to need a 3rd one. Oh joy. Especially given the fact that I don't think I actually have enough space for a third one. But worst case, I just move everything. So I don't need planks for the hoe. In fact, outside of gears, I don't think I need planks for any other tools. But you could argue the gear isn't so much a tool as it is an intermediate product. Alright, so now that that's empty, we grab a crude blade, lop it here. And we go grab a stick. Wrong button. Lop it here. Drop it off here, so that way that recognizes that as hose storage. And then we go build a new bot. Of course, crude blade and stone storage is at maximum, which means I probably have a surplus somewhere in that food chain, so if I have somebody else taking more crude blades, it probably should not be much of a problem. Look, the body section has been filled before the other two. I would have thought the drive section would have been completed first, but then again, drives are slightly more complex and requiring 3 different ingredients, whereas the head and torso only require technically 2. Still a couple. Alright, so new bot, marked 1-14. So what I'm going to need you to do, I need you to come over here and grab a crude blade. I'm going to drop off the crude blade here. I'm going to come in and get a stick. A mighty stick. A grand stick. A stick of stickingness. Then you're going to put it here, and after jumping up and down, you make a tool. You take the tool, and you put it here. You just do all of this until this thing is flagged as full, and do all of that forever. You have 1 kilobyte of free space. And you go and do that, and 1-14 is now the newest proud member of Smith and Sons. Smith certainly has quite a few sons, but as bigger and better sons come in, the old ones get phased out, so technically he has less sons. Though one can, I would say one can't stop being somebody's son, but truth be told, that is actually entirely possible. And that's actually it for basic bots in Smith & Sons, outside of the recharging bot. And interestingly enough, crew hose storage is, well, the workbench for making crude hose, as well as the storage for them, is actually outside of the recharging bot's area of seeing. Now, I could move it, but, you know, I can't make the area bigger, so any square I move in this direction recedes from in this direction. I've only got 1 line of space for here, so technically I should probably build a second one. Although, where is... Picking things up. Of course, the Maternity Warden's recharging bot doesn't have that area, and I've only got 3 squares leeway, and I want overlap, so 2 squares. So 1, 2. Would put it just shy of the workbench. So I don't think I need a basic bot for, well, a standard bot for this sort of thing. So what I can do is actually build a basic bot. I haven't done one of those in a while. Not since I discovered the joys of building more advanced equipment. People, things. course, I do also require 3 planks to build one. And actually, now I have a surplus of 10 planks. So, slight surplus. But that does mean that it is growing, so I actually probably don't actually need a third one. Although, if I constantly need more planks to build more bots, maybe. We'll see how that goes. I could probably build a third one regardless, it would just add to the stockpile. Last but not least, because everybody needs to think, a tree seed. And since all the new bots are getting one, grab a recharging add-on. Bigger battery. A better battery. Probably not a better battery. Rewind you. Let's take a look. It's a temporary team 11. Come on. Plug in the battery. Good. Alright, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to go here, recharge him. Go here, recharge him. That. Find a bot in discharge area of a 13 by 13 square. And gonna plop it over, well, let's say here. So that actually should help cover the stonemasons guild. 1 square over. And it does overlap these, so there should be a slight overlap inside. That's good. Do that forever. Now go. And 61 joins Smith & Sons as the second recharging bot. Of course, that means that if the first recharging bot, which is probably this guy right here, gets stuck somewhere in here, the second recharging bot, in theory, should actually recharge him. But that's only if the areas overlap, and gear storage is actually empty again. And this is apparently wood cutting. That's probably not going to help with the planks. As is the caretaking group, because I actually don't have a... If memory serves, I don't actually have a recharging bot over here. I should build one. I've just been preoccupied with everything else. And everything else in between everything else. For instance, I've been filming for nearly a full hour, and all that I got is the building of the maternity wardens and building hose. So why does this one have a image of a crude blade? But no, that's just the crude blade on top of it. So, with that being said, I don't think culling everything down is going to be a problem. So, what we're going to do, when I figure out where my character is, I'm going to go over here. And, you two, 14 and 17. This is what you're going to do. I'm going to have you record. I'm going to have you empty your hands once you stop. Drop everything. You take that. I'm going to record, or I am recording. I'm just going to remove all of this. What we're going to do is we're going to go over here. Not drop it. No, that's a scythe. That's not the hoe. Hang on. Explains why I couldn't figure out what's going on. Alright. Don't go anywhere. Alright, anyway, so what I was going to say, go here and start tilling. Alright, and item, hands empty, and then once hands are empty, I'm going to come over here and grab a new hoe. Of course, I don't know if after everything's harvested, they need to retill, but until I know otherwise, probably best if somebody actually does this, and I just forgot something. Hang on. The area that I needed to search should be the size of the field, so 11 by 11. So, now go. Put this one back. We'll take the shovel. Put this shovel back. Alright, so I would say have the other one just start planting, but I would prefer it if they planted on the tilled soil. And I'm fairly certain you can just plant on regular soil, so I don't want him to do that. So what 17 is going to do, I'm going to have him stop and have him record. Strip all this out yet again. Drop that. You get this. And at least until everything is tilled, he's going to help, what was it, 14? Till this field. Then, when hands are empty, he goes over here and grabs a new hoe. That into the loop. Now go. Toss that back. And now we gotta wait until the field is fully hoed. So that would probably take the rest of the episode. I'm gonna grab these eggs. Put them in egg storage. Nope, that's not egg storage. Grab the spade. Put it in spade storage. So they do need to hoe down 30 units of soil, of which they've gotten 14 so far. Probably should get a recharging bot for these guys, so 1 log. Probably get a recharging robot just for this area alone. I mean, 3 planks. On the plus side, plank storage is now increasing. We've gotten up to the 2nd tier. So I probably don't need to worry about a 3rd one. Because I really, really want a 3rd one. Apparently there's a recharging bot over here. I guess it was just busy elsewhere. Alright, so is anybody else out of power currently? Silly question. There's always somebody out of power. Alright, forgot to hit record. So, find nearest bot and discharge area. Drag the area of searching over here, as somebody is actually currently out of power. Max that out to cover the field plus the area around it. Now go. We have yet another robot. Add to the ever-increasing pile of 76. Alright, and I'm assuming that ding means that we've completed the soil horde part of the program. But cereal crop manufacture looks like it's going to take quite a bit. So if I have one robot doing everything, I have one person to hoe the soil or till the soil, another person to plant the crop seeds, and once they're fully grown, I have a third one to scythe it, a fourth one to thresh it, and then one to store the seeds, so that way the one planting the seeds has a place to pick it up, one to store the actual cereal crops, and a third to actually store the straw. Of course, I think the crops are actually the cereal seeds, so it's just the cereal seed and straw. But additionally, it looks like for cereal crops, I can also water and fertilize them, even though I don't have a way of mining fresh water. At least not yet. And I don't even know what it takes to build fertilizer. So if it's, what did I say, 7, 8 robots for the areas that I do know, plus 2 more to water and fertilize the crops, that's what, 9 robots just for this one industry. No wonder why they waited this long. And you guys are out of power again. I swear, it seems like all I'm doing nowadays is, outside of building robots, I'm just recharging the existing ones. Recharge him. And you. So I'm not going to recharge this one because, as I said, I'm fairly certain I still need a recharging bot for this area. So, rather than just recharging it manually, I'm going to build basic bot number, dear God, I don't remember, 63. And plank storage is now over halfway filled. And since I don't need complex instructions or anything important, well, I wouldn't say anything important, but I don't need complex instructions or to do quite a few tasks. For charging bots, I'm still using them, the basic bots for them. Basically any large, complex tasks that I need, well, multiple robots to do. If I can swing it with just one, that's where I'm going to use the standard bots. But if for something like this that's rather simple and easy and not all that hard, I'm still going to use the basic bots. And since 63 is going to be operating in this area, it becomes part of the caretakers. There we are. This area should now have a bot to recharge everything until he runs out of power. I really should get more than 3 colonists, but if I'm being honest, no, it's just like taking everything I need just to keep 3 housed and fed. And by housed, I mean, yes, living in rundown lean-tos, for lack of a better term. Plus, they've tilled about half the field, I guess. Which means I should probably start building the bots to, well, manage the field. As I said, it's going to be labor intensive, but not one that requires a single bot to know multiple things, especially if they're not switching out between various different tools. So I should be able to get away with even more basic bots. Of course, standard log storage is running out, but I do have overflow from these two, which I should probably have a basic bot fill. Alright, rewind you, grab you, park you over here real quick. I just remembered something. This chopping area has two basic bots for it, which I can get away with replacing with a single bot. Which would mean two more basic bots I don't have to rebuild. Not rebuild, build. Period. Plural. Singular. Present tense. Now I'm just shouting words. Or at least I was shouting words because I eventually stopped. Because that's how I operate. I do something, I forget what I was going to say, and then just sit there. Then remember what I was going to say, or just simply make it look like I remember what I was going to say. I did say every new bot's getting a power upgrade. Can I carry more than one at once? Yes, I can. Okay, good. That's a 64. Gets a new battery. As does 1-15. Once I charge him up, so that way I can put the battery in him. Really don't want to know where that battery is going, but it's somewhere. Alright, so, speaking of doing something, this is what I'm going to need you to do. I need you to go over here, grab a log. You take the log over here. You take these two planks and put them here. I need you to do this until this thing is... Where's the mouse? Here we are. This thing is filled, which it practically is by now. And then do all of that forever. And there you go. And you are now part of the Woodcutters Guild. Congratulations. Okay, so Mark 4, or 0 Mark 4, is going to stop. Pick you up. Put you here. Move you out of the Woodcutters Guild. Mark 6, which is taking the planks and putting them away. You also stop. You also go over here. And I could technically get away with making another standard bot and replacing the two that are making poles. That would give me 5 extra bots. And I have 2 working, so that should technically be my 7. The Woodcutters Guild was set up so early on that the couple of the bots working in it, or at least used to be working in it, were numbered in single digits. Fun. And fortunate enough, they're actually practically done tilling the whole area, so... Alright, so wind up you. I just realized I needed I need a spare battery, so... Grab the battery. Of course, as these things are maxing out, they probably don't need as many of them, so... That's probably also explains why planks are now being refilled. What is he waiting for? Oh. Okay, plug that into you. Start recording. Need you to take a plank. Go over here. Use this thing. Need you to grab 2 poles and put them in here. You do this forever until this thing is filled, which it technically is. And then do that forever, and then go. And since it's technically filled already, 9 is being replaced, so put you down here. I like how they missed like this one square right here. And 10. Plop you here. Alright, so what's wrong with, what is it, 15? I need you to stop. Get rid of that. And go. See if that helps. Where is he? Oh, there you are. Stop. Drop what you're holding, then go. See how this goes. Okay, so I did actually need that. Hang on. Pick up this. Not that. Pick up this. Let's see how this goes now. Okay. That should work now. For some reason, I guess it wasn't picking up the plank and his hands were filled, so he just stopped. And they finished tilling the area. Okay. I don't need him to record, well, I probably do technically need him to record new instructions. Alright, so 14. Going to go pick up cereal seeds. Yeah, did not plan it record first, so he's going to record. He's going to pick up cereal seeds. And I just realized I probably should have built storages first. Hang on. Stop. Record. Get rid of all this. And then stop. Alright, so storages. Lots and lots of storages. Always more storages. Like storing things. Ain't that fun. So if seeds and straw what come from cereal crops. I should just need 2 storage bins. Okay, so this is going to be cereal seed storage. So I'll put you in there. Interesting. Cereal seeds can't be put in boxes. These crates. I can store straw in the crate, and that's what I'm going to do. But I don't actually need these. I do, however, need small silos, and they are actually bigger. Build a silo, I need a ridiculously large amount of stuff. But I already have one built, so I need slightly less ridiculous amount of stuff. But you know, it's 2 logs, 6 planks, and 4 poles. And I need that twice. Basically, any outside of single carry items like logs and the like, anything that requires multiple trips because I just can't carry enough of it requires a large amount of that item. Alright, so now that the silo's done, shove the seed in here. A seed, because I only have one. Okay, so Mark 14, I'm sorry, Mark 4. It's just sitting around. So you know what? Let's have Mark 4. Horde. Move all of this out. I'll even get rid of the forever loop. What you're going to do is you're going to take a seed out of here and plant it. You're going to do that forever, and the tilde area that you're going to be in will be the length of the field. Now go. And I probably should have had one pick up the seeds first. Oh well, moot point. So I'm going to need a scythe, I believe, for this next bit. Drop that off. I mean, I was going to say I technically need to wait until this grows, but technically I could just hit this one and then move the area. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to practice on this area, although it'll probably be fully grown by the time it gets done. But you know what? So then, Mark 14. This is what I need you to do. Move all of this. Come over here. Technically, here will be over there. But you're going to scythe that down in this area. Well, listen to the till hands empty loop. When that's done, you're going to come over here, grab a new scythe. No, that's a hoe. Hang on. Where are the sides? Here are the sides. Move to crude scythe storage. Now go. Alright, once that's fully grown, he should come back here and start working, doing the thing. So, what do I want to do next? Of course, the next step is beating living snot out of it, and for that I need a flail. So, who's next on the hit parade? Mark 6. After that, 6, you are 6. Take that, and record. And there he is, scything things, just as he's about to run out of power. That, that. We're going to do... I mean, technically I could wait until 14's done scything. Yeah, so it looks like it does detail the land. But anyway, you're going to come over here, and you're going to find the nearest cereal and just beat the living snot out of it with the flail. Going to do that until his hand's empty. I'm going to do it in this area. And once that's over and done with, I'm going to come over here and grab a new flail. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now go. Okay, Mark 64. That's what I'm going to need you to do. It's a cereal. I may actually need 2 threshers, depending upon how long it takes to thresh things. Because if getting cereal from a tilled area nets me 3, that means 3 things, thrice the amount of work he has to do compared to everybody else. But everybody else has to wait for the cereal to grow. So, I need you to find cereal seed in the area predefined, move to the cereal seed, pick it up, and put it here. You do that forever. Now go. And that means that the guy picking up that plants the cereal crops can now has something to, well, plant. Next one, Mark 9, horde. Get rid of all of this. Need you to pick up the straw. Every last bit of straw in, again, the field area. And you're going to put it here. You do that forever. Now go. Also, empty whatever you hold. Gotta do that before. And so I guess I actually didn't need 1 robot, because I believe that's the full cycle. Somebody tills the crops, somebody comes in, plants the seed. Once the seed's fully grown, somebody comes in, scythes the seed, scythes the crop I should say, and somebody else comes in and threshes the crop to get the seeds and the straw. Somebody picks up the straw, puts it into the storage, somebody picks up the seeds to put that in storage, then somebody comes back through, retills the land plot, and then somebody replants. So yeah, that should be it, and I have 1 spare basic pot. Alright, so just for fun, because I have really nothing better to do, put this one right here, and he's out of power. So that way the thresher handles these 2 things of cereal. which should technically get me more seeds while this stuff is growing. Put the straw there so that way it gets collected. Meantime, the pumpkin pickers number in how many? Of course, I should also make a new team for the farmers. Alright, so I'm tried to think of a amusing but still descriptive name for the farming team. But all I could think of right now is Farming Bobs. I feel like Bobs is should be a crude or at least rude word somewhere. I don't know for certain, but if it is, I do apologize. It is not intended to be insulting to anyone. But all I could think of was Farmer Bob in this case, and well, I named the team after him. So, part of the Farmer Bob team is going to be... find it. It's alphabetical, so let's just collapse this. That's Smith and Sons. So the Farmer Bob team. That's not Farmer Bob. We are Farmer Bobs. So 4 is the planter, 6 is the thresher, 9 is the straw collector, 14 scythes. Got what 14 does for a quick second. 17 preps the land, and I feel like I'm missing one. 62 is the recharger. Gotta go on the team. We got plant. I got till, plant, scythe, thresh, and collect straw. Who's collecting the seed? 4 is not doing anything. 39's there. 64 is collecting seed. Put you there. And that should technically be everybody. Yeah, now we just gotta wait for the crops to grow. I mean, I could technically scythe down all of these. In fact, I just may, just to get things slightly rolling. Since I don't feel like threshing all of this myself, I'm just going to put it down on the field. Let them handle everything. So it's good for practice if and when they manage to fully, well, fill the field. Plus it gets me more seeds right off the bat. So that aspect of it should be, well, I would say useful, but... to be fair, I probably won't actually get a surplus of seeds until they manage to plant the entire field. Then once they have things growing faster than, well, a greater amount than there are places to plant the seeds, then I should start seeing more seeds growing. And we hit another milestone in cereal thresh 30 out of 30. So I still need to sow 24 seeds, grow, it would be helpful if this didn't go away, grow 87 more crops, and scythe down 10 more and store, well, scythe down 10 more cereal crops, and, well, now 9 cereal crops, and store 21 more seeds. And as the area that's planted and grown increases, they should be able to, the time between when something gets grown and something I'm sorry, I lost what I was trying to say. As I was saying, the more areas that are seeded and the more areas that they grow, the greater the likelihood there'll eventually be a time where once the last grown thing is scythed down, another area needs to be grown, like for instance right here. So now the scything basic bot pretty much has something to do at all times. Of course, that means that there's now going to be a constant supply of things that need to be threshed and things that need to be picked up and replanted and, well, tilled. I don't know if the seeding bot will only plant in tilled areas, or if he'll start planting in non-tilled areas as well. Now look at that, basic cereal also goes in one of these boxes. Well, the straw's going to get maxed out really quickly. I'm already at 38 out of 100, and they don't even have half the field even planted yet. Of course, I may now have just simply given the thresher more to do. But for all intents and purposes, the cereal crop industry should be set up. So once they manage to plant the field, and unlike the pumpkins, which... Oh, another milestone hit. I think that's crops scythe. Of course, they need to plant 2 more seeds and they should be good there. And then it's grow 76 more crops and seed and store 2 more seeds. Well, now 1 more seed and sow 1 more seed. Alright, so they've sown the last seed that they need and stored the last seed that they need. So now they just got to wait for 24 more crops to grow. So they just basically keep continuing the cycle, and somebody's now out of power. Is that cereal crop on somebody's head? I don't think so. But I may actually need a new thresher now that I'm looking at it, because it doesn't look like that this is going away. So bot number 10 now has something to do. So let's grab a new flail. I'll give you this. Which I drop hands, but that was after I gave him the flail. So you grab this. Record. Get rid of all of this. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to come over here and start threshing things. The area that you need to thresh will be this area. I'm going to need you to do this until hands empty, at which point you need to come over here and grab a new flow. And you will do that forever. Now go. And just like that, bot number 10 now has a new role and a new team amongst the... I'm going to change it to Farmer's Bob. I think that's slightly nicer in terms of phrasing. Of course, unless I'm farming Bobs, but again, that didn't sit right well with me. But hopefully 2 threshing robots will be able to take care of all of this, so that way it doesn't constantly pile. And it looks like there's actually more now than there used to be. So I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have tilled all the soil first, but something tells me I'm probably going to get to a point where I need so much cereal seeds and so much straw possibly that not only will I wish I have tilled everything, but I wish I would have fertilized it and watered it as well. But that is all going to be another issue for another day, because I'm going to call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.